Attention passionate Montreal, Canadiens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the Atlantic Division and it could shake up the entire conference. We're talking about a direct impact on Montreal Canadiens' path to another Stanley Cup run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Montreal Canadiens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Montreal Canadiens fans. Let's get to the news. Alright folks, today we're diving into some exciting rumors, some potential moves that could really reshape the Canadiens roster for this upcoming season and beyond. We're talking about a name that's been buzzing around the hockey world, Jared Mccann. Now, I know what you might be thinking, Mccann. Isn't he the guy who scored 40 goals last season with Seattle? And yes, you're right. That's exactly why his name is being floated as a potential target for the Canadiens. But let's unpack this a bit more, because what makes Mccann a really intriguing option isn't just his goal-scoring ability, but also how he could fill a critical hole for the Habs. First, it's no secret that the Canadiens have been looking for a solid second-line center for quite some time. Over the past few seasons, we've seen a rotation of players filling that role: Kirby Dach, Alex Newhook, and some other prospects. Yet none have truly cemented themselves as the long-term solution. And that's where Jared Mccann could come into play. According to reports from Michael DeRosa of the Hockey News, Montreal has expressed interest in acquiring him from the Seattle Kraken. Now, Mccann isn't just a winger who can score. He's got NHL experience playing as a center, and that's a huge plus for a team that desperately needs stability down the middle. Mccann's career has been interesting to follow. He's primarily been a winger during his time with Seattle, but he's got the skill set and experience to slot in as a second-line center if needed. His past with the Florida Panthers and Pittsburgh Penguins shows that he can handle the responsibilities that come with playing in the middle of the ice, and even though his face-off percentage might not be stellar, around 42.7% overall, if you remove those early years with Florida, his face-off win rate climbs to about 45.9%. That's actually an improvement over the current options the Canadiens have, like Kirby Dach and Alex Newhook, who are operating around 39.3% and 44.6% respectively. So, while he's not perfect in the dot, he's an upgrade and an adaptable option to stabilize that position. What makes Mccann particularly appealing, beyond the face-off stats, is his offensive potential. Last season, he scored a whopping 40 goals and added a significant number of assists, making him a 60-point player on a consistent basis. And here's an interesting bit. His best years came playing alongside Matty Beniers in Seattle, where he really blossomed as a goal scorer. But even after Beniers faced some struggles this season, Mccann adapted and became more of a playmaker, which shows his versatility and hockey IQ. He's a player who can operate both as a finisher and a setup man, and that dual-threat capability makes him a perfect fit for a Canadiens team that is looking to develop young talent like Ivan Demidov. Now, speaking of Demidov, imagine the potential line combinations. Mccann could be the perfect veteran presence to center a line with Demidov, who is already showing flashes of being a future star. Both players have that scoring touch and playmaking ability, and together they could produce some serious offensive numbers. Think about 30 goals and 70 points for each if they click well. And on the wings, you'd have options like Patrick Lane, who's known for his deadly shot, or Zach Bolduc, who's been developing that same scoring punch. The chemistry potential there is quite exciting for Canadiens fans who love offensive firepower. But it's not just about offense. Mccann's game also includes responsible two-way play, which is crucial for the Canadiens' defensive system. He's capable of killing penalties and can help Demidov, who is still adapting to the NHL, find his footing at both ends of the ice. His experience in Pittsburgh and Seattle shows he's played a more defensive role at times, so he can be used as a penalty killer if necessary. That kind of versatility is invaluable, especially when you're trying to build a balanced roster with players who can contribute in multiple facets of the game. Now, let's talk about the financial side because this is a key point. Mccann's cap hit is quite team-friendly, around $5 million for the next 2 seasons. That's an excellent deal for a player of his caliber, especially considering the Canadiens' salary cap situation. It's a manageable contract, giving the team flexibility to pursue other moves or re-sign key players down the line. And the timing couldn't be better, because it aligns with Montreal's strategy of building a competitive team around their core, while also having the room to develop prospects like Hage, who's expected to be the future second-line center. Of course, any potential trade would involve some assets from Montreal's side. Reports suggest that the Kraken might be open to moving Mccann in exchange for prospects like Joshua Roy, Adam Engstrom, or Oliver Kapanen, plus a second-round pick. Some speculation even hints at adding Mike Matheson into the deal if the Kraken are looking for a steady NHL defenseman. It's a move that makes sense on many levels. Montreal gets a proven scorer and a versatile center, while Seattle clears cap space and adds some future assets. And honestly, compared to other big names like Dylan Strome or Ryan O'Reilly, Mccann would likely cost less and allow the Canadiens to keep their top prospects intact. Now, I know some fans might be wondering, is this really going to happen? Well, historically, GM Kent Hughes has been quite active during the summer, making trades or signing players to shake things up. Last year, he made a mid-August move, and there's a pattern of Montreal making strategic changes at this time of year. So, it's very plausible that we could see this rumor turn into reality. Mccann's age, just 29, makes him a veteran presence without being too old, and he could fit into the Canadiens' timeline perfectly, especially if they're planning to contend for a Stanley Cup in 2 or 3 years. And let's not forget about the broader context. The Atlantic Division is fiercely competitive right now. The Tampa Bay Lightning, Boston Bruins, Toronto Maple Leafs, they're all deep, talented teams. For Montreal to climb that ladder, solidifying the second-line center position with someone like Mccann could be a real game-changer. It would give them more offensive punch, more stability in the middle, and a player who can contribute right away, something they desperately need. So, what's next? Well, we have to wait and see if the trade rumors gain momentum, or if the Canadiens try to make a move in the coming weeks. But one thing is for sure, adding a player like Jared Mccann would send a strong message that Montreal is serious about contending, about building a team that can compete not just now, but in the upcoming seasons. It's an exciting time for Canadiens fans, and I think many of you are seeing the potential here. Whether it's a perfect fit or just a rumor, it's a discussion worth having because it highlights the team's ongoing efforts to improve and stay competitive. And now, Montreal Canadiens fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Canadiens as a whole. Do you think Mccann would be the right fit? Would you be willing to see prospects go in exchange for a player who can make an immediate impact? Let me know. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Montreal Canadiens news. We've got the offseason heating up, and with it, plenty of exciting rumors and potential moves that could define the team's future. Thanks for sticking with me, and as always, go Habs.